Beginning January 1st, Roller Pharmacy is preferred under Caremark plans, Silver Script, and WellCare Part D. Roller Pharmacy is also preferred under Cigna, Express Scripts, Envision, and Magellan. And as always, Roller Pharmacy continues to cover all Medicare Part D policies. Roller Pharmacy in Irwin.
Are you ready to take the ride of your life? Let Black Wolf Harley-Davidson get you started right with a Harley-Davidson Riding Academy New Rider course. The course offers hands-on instruction and real course experience that can teach you the skills you need to get the most out of riding. For a limited time, active military, veterans, and first responders and their spouses can learn to ride for $99. Riding Academy classes are filling up quick. For information or to enroll, go to blackwolfharley.com. The ultimate Harley-Davidson experience.
What if I could tell you that a full-blown wildfire was going to occur tomorrow, right where you live? Tell you exactly which neighborhoods it would engulf and how fast it would do it. The first thing you would do is talk with your loved ones and make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a wildfire will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you make a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Name of this bumper music is called Chase Scene. I'll give this a listen here. Want to get in my Gran Torino, right? The cherry tomato, or maybe the General Lee or something. Well, I guess that would be more bluegrass with the Dukes, but I'm going to get into a car chase. Let's hear that again here. Now I'm on foot. I got my pistol drawn. There you go. There we go. Boy, here I go making a little bit of lighthearted on this, and I say pistols drawn, and now I'm thinking that maybe that wasn't the best segue that I could have gone to. I've got a real sad story here. Bill Snyder, head coach, Kansas State. Yes, still head football coach there. Gonna be 80 soon. His grandson passed away, 22 years old. Matthew Snyder. Scant details have been released. Let's say, but 22 years old. What? Emergency personnel responded to a medical call yesterday afternoon in Manhattan. Manhattan, Kansas County is Riley County. So Riley County police confirmed there had been a death, but declined to give any further information. And he was at his own house that he owned. Hey, Sean Snyder owns a house at 22. What do you think about that? We're waiting to hear a statement from Kansas State. Remember, they're an hour behind us. Just horrible. And then this comes in the same week in which Tyler Hilinsky, quarterback at Washington State, committed suicide. And Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe, of course, would you call him the greatest quarterback from Washington State? They've had some good ones. Tim Rosenbaugh. Yeah, we got to talk about Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf might have been a better college quarterback than Drew Bledsoe. Obviously not a better pro, but might have been a better college quarterback. All right? But still, yeah. John Bledsoe, his son, plays on the team. And he's actually a freshman quarterback at Washington State. And he tweeted this out. This is very powerful. God, let Tyler find peace. Everyone, please pray for the Hilinsky family tonight. Heaven received a very special person. Bledsoe put out on Instagram. Now, I should say Drew Bledsoe. So, John Bledsoe's father, and we all know Drew, he put this at, these are really deep words. And I'm telling you these because they may help you. I don't know if you're going through tough times. I don't know if you're going through great times. But I do like to have an intellectual flavor to the show, even with comedy, or, my own sense of humor and certainly insights and Great interviews. Drew Bledsoe wrote this, a heartfelt message on Instagram imploring men, talk about how we are feeling. We sprain an ankle, we go see a doctor. If we're struggling emotionally, we have to learn to treat it the right way, the same way. Everybody needs help at some point. This is Drew Bledsoe, Super Bowl quarterback, right? Yeah, I mean, you start thinking this is Mr. Masculinity. I mean, he's got a son who's playing quarterback, his alma mater, a millionaire. He's got to be doing pretty well, right? Hey, I remember, talk about Tom Brady. Is he going to win the Super Bowl again? I remember the first time he was. There was some question if Drew Bledsoe would start the game. Everybody needs help at some point, male or female. If you've gotten to that point, reach out for the help. It's not a sign of weakness. It's the ultimate sign of strength. Talk to a family member, friend, coworker, clergy, anyone. If you're too embarrassed to talk to someone you know, there's a National Suicide Prevention Hotline. No shame in calling this. None. 1-800-273-8255. I'll put this story, I'll link this up on our Facebook page later on in the afternoon. 1-800-273-8255. That's the number. And, of course, we'll have this archive, final segment of the show, so you can go back and read through it. But just, awful stories. I mean, coming out of college football here. But maybe out of them, we can find strength. Maybe. I hope so. Hey, Nick Saban really wants Hugh Freeze to be his offensive coordinator. If I was him, I'd look to Matt Canada, but Canada, I guess, he's got a lot of stickers on his suitcase, so he doesn't stay. Then again, 4 offensive coordinators, this will be the 4th one at Alabama in just, a year? Come on. Anyway, there's a report out that Hugh Freeze was seen at the Alabama football building. Crimson Tide is searching for another offensive coordinator, so speculation focused on Freeze as a potential candidate for the opening. Now, according to the latest from the Tuscaloosa News and their writers Aaron Suttles, Saban is really pushing for Freeze to be the on-field coach, whether it be as a coordinator or maybe just a quarterback's coach or another position. The problem is that within the program are against such an addition, but if Saban really wants Freeze, he'll get it, regardless of who is pushing back. But maybe the SEC steps in. If Alabama decided to hire Freeze as the on-field coach, he'd likely need the blessing of Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, and Sankey is not real keen on Hugh Freeze. Why would he be? Freeze resigned from Ole Miss as the head coach after it was discovered he was using a school-issued cell phone to hook up with escorts. I know there's that snarky side within us that's sort of like, hey, Hugh, But, yeah, you're not supposed to be doing that. Plus, the Rebels on probation. Are the Rebels ever not on probation? They don't get anywhere, but they seem to always be on probation. Freeze has a 1-year show cause. I guess he spent it this past year. Please, I'm sorry. But this is the question here. Like I said, Matt Canada is available from LSU. If I was Nick Saban, that's who I'd hire. I'd hire him in a heartbeat. Next question I've got for you here, college football news. Florida Atlantic, their quarterback, Jason Driscoll, 10 wins, under Lane Kiffin last year. He's going to quit. He was the starter, but he does not want to play anymore. You're seeing more and more of this. He says that after a lot of thinking, talking with friends and family, and a prayer, I made the decision to end my college football career. Miss the teammates, but he won't regret the decision, and he'll move to the next chapter of his life. Driscoll, like I said, passed for 2,200 yards. He also was a pretty good running quarterback. DeAndre Johnson, a transfer from Florida, and Oklahoma's Chris Robinson, though, could be making the Owls under Kiffin very, very, very deep at quarterback. Let's just say that. especially in Conference US. What conference are they? I've forgotten which one they're in now. It's not Conference USA. It's not the. Let's see here. Florida Atlantic. Which one are they in? They're in one of those. Let's see here. And somebody's screaming this out here, and it's one of the non-major. Is it Conference USA? Yes, it is. It's Conference USA. I'm sorry. Conference USA has fallen down a lot. It's like the WAC. Okay. Also, Chase Crouch, Illinois. They were 2-10. He's retiring. What is it with college football quarterbacks retiring? What's up with that? Usually you retire when you're a pro. The game is getting more and more vicious. Don Mahoney, remember him? He used to be the offensive line coach of the Tennessee Volunteers under Butch Jones from 2013 to 2016. Now he's the offensive line coach at East Carolina. Okay. So there you are. With that, that's another story coming out of college football. Kevin Falk, former LSU running back, he may go to the LSU staff. What about that? There is a talk. The NCAA also tabled discussions on limiting the size that a college football team could have as a staff. And another thing that you should know is that poor Donnie Abraham up there in Illinois, and I know he's a defensive coach, but not an offensive coach, but Illinois, like I said, I mentioned Chase Crouch. He is retiring. He's a quarterback at Illinois. Illinois was 2-10 last year, worst team in the Big Ten. Jeff George Jr., he is going to move on as a graduate transfer. Did you know Jeff George Jr. was a quarterback at Illinois? I wasn't aware of that. Let's see here. We do want to get to these football schedules, and I guess we will be posting these up on Facebook as well. The ACC released their football schedules, and so Virginia Tech fans, if you haven't heard yet, can't imagine that you haven't, but here's the teams the Hokies will play. Next year will be their schedule. Virginia Tech will open up on Monday, September 3rd, Labor Day, it looks like, at Florida State. That's a tough one. But then they host William & Mary. The aforementioned Doug Marrone, Doug Marrone is the Jacksonville Jaguars coach, listen to me. Don Mahoney, doesn't he have a store somewhere in town? No, that's Dan, I'm sorry. They will then be playing East Carolina, travel to Old Dominion, then travel to Duke. That's a chance right there for 4-1. Before Notre Dame comes in on October 6th, we'll have to get Terry Shields on the show that day. Travel to North Carolina. Bye week, then Georgia Tech on a Thursday at home. Boston College to begin November. Travel to Pittsburgh on November 10th. Penultimate game of the regular season is at home against Miami. And then, day after Thanksgiving, they host the Wahoos. Trying to beat them for, what would it be now? About the 15th straight time, I believe. Against, it's 14 or 15, something like that. I'm sorry. I don't have the exact number here. For our North Carolina listeners, the Tar Heels, they will open up at California, just like Tennessee did in 2007. Then, North Carolina, they go to East Carolina. All right. It's a nice give to an in-state school. Central Florida comes in, then does Pitt. Miami on September 27th, that's a Thursday. After a bye week, a long bye week, they travel to Virginia Tech. They host Virginia Tech. They host Virginia Tech. Then, October 20th, travel to Syracuse. The next week to Virginia. Hosting November 3rd, Georgia Tech. At Duke on November 10th. They are not finishing the season up with the Blue Devils. Western Carolina comes in on November 17th. And then NC State goes to Chapel Hill on November 24th. NC State fans, here's your schedule. September 1, James Madison comes to Raleigh, then Georgia State, then West Virginia, traveling to Marshall, then Virginia could go 4-1 with Boston College coming in after that. Textile Bowl against Clemson, at Clemson, October 27th at Syracuse, home to Florida State November 3rd, and remember, the Wolfpack always have success. It seems like they always play the Seminoles very well. Thursday, Wake Forest, November 8th, at Louisville and at North Carolina. So those are the schedules in the ACC. I will post these, all of them, on our Facebook page. Colin Coward is next. See you tomorrow.